Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. Right now, we are in a trade shorting NQ. We're looking for shorts today. Hopefully, it doesn't come back up in here for like it's a pre 9:30 trade, so it is a little bit little sketchy. So the narrative here is we have SMT on the highs between ES and NQ as NQ reached into the 4-hour fair value gap all the way to the left. You could look at it if you want, take my word for it, whatever. But yeah, we are currently holding a short here. I think we can get some really decent follow through to the downside, all depending. The highs that were put in here are a little sketchy on the 15 second. You have these super equals over here. Not really pleased with that. But yeah, I mean, we're in the trade, so we're kind of holding for now. And I'll be debating whether I want to move the stop. I probably will move the stop to even-ish before the market opens, counting on continued weakness on ES. What I'm also slightly fearful is that we have SMT on these lows between ES and NQ, and then we also have SMT here between ES and NQ. If you could see, we've dipped down into this low, and on ES we have not. So those are a couple of things that I'm slightly nervous about going into this trade. I want to hold full size, but I feel like it's smart to partial, something. It's 28. It's a pretty good day so far. There's no news either today, so I think as far as the volatility driver goes, it seems like it wants to be 9:30. I want to see it take these lows at least. I mean, come on. If not, it's definitely just generated liquidity. It's a pretty aggressive move that it shot down there. I need to check the YouTube, make sure that's all good. Strong sort of retracement on the 1 minute, which is not cool. 929. Just really looking for a win here today. I mean, it's been a rough kind of couple days. Okay, there's that. I think I'm going to partial sum here, take off about half of the position, and move the rest to even. Sorry guys, I'm trying to fix the, my OBS made a whole bunch of upcoming streams instead of like allowing me to do this stream. To delete. Need ES to play catch up here on the downside. Let's go to our risk settings real quick. Not that, our risk settings. Should have our 500 daily loss limit. Liquidate and block. There you go. So that sucks to see. Immediate kind of shove right back up. Kind of had a feeling that that was in the cards for the 9:30 open. Considering, like, again, this structure on these highs was very weak up here. Yeah, that hurts. Takes the stop and that's it. I guess it was a little bit of a touch of greed, I guess, hoping that we'd get more of a move to the downside. Because I am kind of downward biased for, like, maybe outside of the range here, possibly down below this low, same sort of thing for ES. Kind of some lower targets for Dow as well. But yeah, I mean, we'll play around with it. I should also let me get my YouTube up, the stream itself. What's up, Viraj? What's up, FF? How you guys doing? Excuse me. Topstep still showing no wick above this level. If I go to the 1 minute, there it goes finally. It's getting a little bit better, but still broken. So yeah, unfortunately, was hoping 9:30 to just kind of crack down lower, but it kind of went the opposite way. It was a risk I was willing to take. Upsetting that it didn't go my way, but you know, that risk I was willing to take nonetheless. I guess what I could have done better was take a little bit more off, but I mean, 139 is not too terrible either. Sorry. So what are you guys up to? Viraj, you trade today, or what's the deal? We're gonna run here real quick. Get to this 4 hour. Drag it out. I'd like to get a feel for where the VWAP is. Not that I'm using it too often. So just shy of it, it's kind of front ran it. It's not terrible for what I'm thinking here as far as shorts go. Get rid of that. It's not really pertinent anymore. I hear you, man. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's for the best. You know, if something is doesn't feel completely right, we'll hesitate and we won't put the trade on. There's usually a reason for it. Something is usually not very right or confidence inducing. So it was probably the right move. And you know, if there was something that obviously if it worked out still, you know, and you didn't put the trade on because you were fearful, you know, try to figure out, I guess, if there was a reason for the fear, was the reason valid? What can you know, I'm sure you'll see the same situation again. So that's typically what I'll do. So I'll try to figure out, well, what could I have leaned on that would have made me less fearful? What could I have seen? You know, what would have made me pull the trigger? So we're approaching the new week opening gap. I don't think I even have it on this chart here, but it is on my other NQ chart. So I go here. It's actually a very big one from Friday, January 30th. And we have liquidity up here right above this high. If you look on the 4 hour, it's like very nice slanted highs here, like very trend liney highs. Wing right into this. So may want to reach up into there. I am looking for some sort of down retracement. The week open is just straight up, so not really trying to, you know, fade that. What's up, Retta? How you doing? Good morning, good morning. So today is Wednesday, so we may get Wednesday high of the week. I mean, that was hopefully for Wednesday retracement. May get a Wednesday reversal. We have core retail sales tomorrow. So yeah. That's that. Am I not correct here? Sorry guys, I just want to check something. Yeah, close to open. Oh, I was looking at this one over here. So this is the 31st. Yeah, close to open. I mean, we can mark it out. I don't know if it's going to be as pretty. It's not. They're not the same, so I'm going to kind of leave that be. Not too concerned with it. I'm just going to be using the PD arrays for now. Good, Red. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I got some medicine yesterday from the doctor, so started that. Feeling a little bit better this morning, which is nice. Kind of getting slightly better, so that's nice. Yesterday I was a little banged up. Did not feel very good. There's no news today, by the way, guys. There's sorry, I've lost my voice a little bit here. Where are we? Let's go to Forex Factory. Yeah, nothing. I mean, we have crude oil inventories at 10:30. That's pretty much it. So let's see what we got here. Kind of a doozy. You have Dow all the way down here, right, relative to the other indexes. Dow's floating around these lows, like more specifically this one that it took in the morning. It's, you know, questionable. 4-hour equal highs on ES probably going to get taken, as especially as NQ kind of digs back up into the 4-hour gap. After a little bit of SMT here right before the open. I don't know about this move to the downside. I'm definitely a little fearful after the morning pump. Could be a Judas swing, but I don't know. I mean, so as good as you have Dow kind of leaking lower, it just may be a week that's like straight up. You know what I mean? Most of the week may just be straight up, relentless sort of rally, not a whole lot of retracement. You just have consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion. So I'm definitely hesitant. It's a bit of a tough call. You know, below midnight, expansion. Obviously, this impulse range should be visited at some point. You know, either end. So, yeah, I mean, kind of really moving back into the range now. Didn't make it up to the quite to the midpoint of that 4-hour gap. ES just kind of making equals against the SMT on the high still stands. Interesting. What you could do is you could just do one of these, so you figure out where we're at inside of this range. Sorry, I'm gonna put on. I feel like my nose keeps shutting down here. It's making me swallow, like do weird weird stuff. So I mean, Dow very low volume here. What's also interesting is I don't believe anyone's taken this low. Maybe ES has by a tick, or it made equals. Pretty much equals here. Dow hadn't taken them, and you guessed it, neither has NQ. So something to be aware of as we are starting to come back down, but we are sort of respecting the midpoint of this range and this 1 minute fair value gap. ES traveling a little bit deeper. Let's see how we react here up in this SIBI. Nice reaction off the midpoint. I'm just kind of undecided of where I want to trade. As far as draw goes, I mean, I don't really... The upside on NQ is like way up, you know, according to the 4 hour. Like it's this whole trend line move up above these equal highs to finish it off. I don't know if we get that today or if that's in the cards this week. That's a hard decision to make. I guess like if we really start to trade higher, I'll think about it, but it's that's probably more of a trade to take like up in this area. You know, maybe it hits this rejection block, has some sort of retracement back into this gap, and then maybe you can think about drawing a narrative towards these highs. But for now, as long as we're playing around this 4 hour gap, I'm not really keen on taking longs because it could just want to like stab up into the midpoint and then, you know, retrace lower. So not something that's like completely, you know, nothing great. Nothing great, you can put it that way. So I like that 1 minute candle right back off the 4 hour gap there. Let's see if that's true for regular NQ contract as well. My bad. Sorta, kinda. Nice move. This is the 15-minute fair value gap. Technically never closed above it, but since we did shoot above, you have to kind of like give that some respect, like above this high. Now, if the body closes inside of it, it could have been a manipulation, and that's a signature you could look at. So even if a fair value gap gets you know, disqualified because we've taken highs all the way up, if the body comes back down and manipulates and stays within this range, it's typically pretty bearish. It's a bearish signal that I've kind of come to notice. So I will still kind of then think about this area as a resistance. And there you go. I mean, that's kind of a nice example of it there. See how the body closed? Topstep wicks are not allowing me, like, you know, I'm not really sure where it stands here. That's why it's not taking that trade. It's so frustrating. Topstep data, man, really messing with me. But yeah, so you can see how that kind of, see how it manipulates, but the bodies then respect the fair value gap. That's typically a good sign for resistance. See how it's not showing me accurate where the wicks are? Again, a lot of that matters because I'm looking at this sort of area. You know, did we reach into that? Did we not? It's really frustrating. Nice move to the downside. ES plays major, catch up, takes these lows. Seems like Dow is running lower. Huge move straight down. I guess the real trade was up here. I just didn't rip it. NQ tapping into some equal lows here. I'm going to mark out midnight on my other charts as well. I'll tell you what sucks is that I kind of feel like I have to like keep my 1 minute charts up on my high time frame just so I have an idea of where the action is. Yeah, this is an absolute melter. Again, focus on these lows. Here and here, here and here, here and here. Yes, especially because they are perfectly equal right into the new day opening gap. If it bleeds right down, like what are we going to do? No way for us to get involved. Again, the anticipatory short was right up as it nailed that 4-hour fair value gap and kind of came lower. Then your risk is that it sweeps below this low and comes back up and stops you out because it's, you know, maybe just one more sweep under equilibrium of the range. But here's your kind of breakaway gap by the midpoint of the range like we've talked about. And then also you had the, I should have seen that. That's on me as well. Breakaway gap right by after coming up midpoint of the range of the 1 minute imp. Oh, I'm choking because my nose keeps closing up. 1 minute impulse range. 15-minute body back in and just immediate puke to the downside. There goes ES taking that low. Had the right idea today. I was just hoping that this morning was going to do that. Huge reversal. Yeah, there are definitely a couple ways it could have I could have gotten on side with this move. I just hesitate because if what I'm afraid of, like when I see like the 1 minute data not being clear, like I know that there's wicks. What I'm afraid of is price trading up there and I'm getting a different fill than what I think. So that's been kind of annoying. I hope that they do fix that. I mean, I've reached out to them a million times. They say everything's fine. Okay, so we've taken these lows on pretty much every index except for Dow. I think Dow definitely comes down and wants to rip lower anyway. I mean, look how gross all this volume is. It's a nice retracement. So this here is midpoint of the daily wick, all the way over here. Like that rejection off of ES on the midnight opening price. I'm thinking about a short into this level here. Hoping that it was going to kind of stab up into this gap. Not getting a whole lot of retracement. cool off as Dow's taking the low. Just gonna wait a second. Get a feel for where I'm at. So now Dow kind of coming back up into its midnight opening price into the new day opening gap of today. NQ is really the only index that hasn't reached into the new day opening gap today. Again, it did last night, but if you're wondering what these lines are, this is midpoint of the impulse range on the 1 minute chart. Let's see how we function over here. It's a crazy couple of 15-minute candles. Again, so see how wicks are. That type of split second stuff is really frustrating to me. Okay, so now we are in the breaker. Low, high, low, low. And this order block. Very questionable flat top. I like the area that it's in. We'll see if it wants to give a stab up. That would be probably best. And then if it starts to break down, I'd be a little bit more comfortable. Nice Reda. Very good Reda. I hope it works out for you, man. It's definitely an interesting spot. Yeah, 5-minute midpoint just doing work. 5-minute order block CE, big rejection down. I do want to be short. It had to be up here. These candles kind of freaked me out a little bit. Flat top wicks. It's tragic. Oh man. Back into midnight. It's literally taking all the power in me to not be chasing these moves right now. Hard to get a feel here because ES is finding support in this new day opening gap. So is Dow. NQ is finding support in the midnight opening price. It's hard for me to take preemptive shorts. I am finding it difficult to like be as gutsy as I am usually. I'm trying one there. I like the rejection. I think maybe NQ can take a low. Nice. Looking for the midpoint. Topstep. This candle lag is literally insane. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Mm. Yeah, I got to get out of it. That's so frustrating. Obviously taps right into that midpoint. I mean, that's greatly. Man. The fact that it's not showing up immediately is just painful. Just because I probably would have, I'm acting different if I see that information right away. Because that was really the point that I wanted to kind of take profits on, or at least some partials. Oh, dude, it's so frustrating. Mm. And now look, wicks are not showing up. What time? I have to figure this out. So clearly there's a wick higher. Okay, now price is obviously higher, so it's just made the wick on the 1 minute, but it was there before. And it's actually even higher. It's at 21302. And look, we're at 21296. The real wick is all the way up here. I need to timestamp this because I have to send this to them. I mean, I don't know how they're going to tell me everything's fine. 3134, 3134. Today's date, 5/14. So frustrating. Going to be cautious as it literally cracked right into the midpoint of this impulse range and just turned on a dime. If the other indexes can pull us lower, great. If not, I have to be careful there. That's so frustrating. Because I'm holding until the trade hits that point. I'll tell you, the data has not been right for a while. Could be a potential long setup here. We'll see how we react. But midpoint of the impulse range perfectly sends us higher. What's up, Mr. Dollar? How we doing, brother? Saw ICT and had to come check it out. Yeah, man. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. I do trade the concepts. I think they're sick. Unfortunately, it's been a rough day, tough day to navigate. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Some old 4-hour highs and whatnot. It's really frustrating. So, Mr. Dollar, I'm assuming you are also trading ICT. Yeah, it is. It's a tough. I mean, let's just look at these two 15-minute candles. That's pretty crazy. I think again, I am sort of leaning lower, but you just never know with how things are going to work here, headline risk and whatnot. Definitely best to get a little defensive. All things equal, I would obviously want to be shorting this into the ground, but a little nervous, a little hesitant. I do like that 15-minute perfect rejection right out of the midpoint. With the sweep, the Dow is just a little bit strong. I'm a straight forever model on first presentation. Nice, man. Very cool. Don't trust this guy. He knows about trade candles. What's up, backtest? How you doing, bro? Gulp. Don't listen to him, man. He's a psycho. He is a psycho. Dude, Drake Candle got me out this morning. I was short here. Drake Candle absolutely burnt me. I want to be short the market so bad. It just doesn't feel right. Pause, my brother. Big pause. Yeah, I know. Have I ever traded first presentation? Maybe unintentionally, but I haven't been watching a lot of ICT lectures as of late. I used to grind them all the time, like, a couple of years ago, but at this point, I'm kind of understanding how I trade, and I haven't really ripped any of the lectures in a long time. But what I mean, like, I probably have inadvertently just because right off the open, I'm typically, pretty active. So I think by chance I probably have. I haven't really looked into what he's said about it yet. It seems a lot of people are starting to use them. Really playing with the midpoint of the 5-minute order block, invert. Again, these highs are super suspect to me. So I don't know. That's very, very difficult. You have 1-minute SMT here as ES is within the new day opening gap, and NQ was in the midnight open. You also have bodies like really respecting the midnight open. So it's a tough call just from technicals alone. And then as far as like draw goes, I mean, obviously I'm more apt to want to draw a trade lower. And we do have SMT on these highs. I don't know, but this action is scary to say the least. So there we go. We're starting to get a reaction now out of that 5-minute invert. But kind of eating it right back. ICT doesn't talk about it. It's just you take the first presentation fair value up to the opening range gap or the next high or low just happened. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, it seems like logical. I want to be short here so bad. I'm just afraid it rips up. Yeah, that sucks. Just hard, like, you know what I mean? It's not the most confidence-inducing market. The structure on the highs is not. You know what? I guess shame on me. I should be trusting. Well, maybe not. But what I mean by that is like I should be trusting like the perfection of the midpoint tap there, immediately rejecting, then going and basically accumulating right by it. Well, there you go. That's what I was afraid of. But anyway, midpoint rejection here in the 15-minute, like as a reclaim, then accumulating below and around the CE of the 5-minute inverted order block, although we've already kind of used it. So that was the main concern. So I don't know. That's his nasty work here. Now we'll see if we did it go into here? Sort of, kind of, not really. Equal highs. I'm gonna be opposed at a long scalp into that. What time is this candle? 9:44. 9:44. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, that's a nice move. Reclaiming. Hesitating. I'm just hesitating so much. Midpoint. That's my buy. I'm looking for the quick scalp. Quick scalp to the upside. Take these highs. It's definitely chasey. It's not moving very quickly either. Nice. Trim, trim. Stop it even. As we're back into the midpoint of the original 1-minute range here. See if it wants to take these highs. If not, it may just, this point may be a point of retracement. And in that case, it kind of takes me out, which sucks. Why isn't this? Oh, here you go. Liquidity. Oh, well, I guess it should be do nothing, just in case it's an absolute eater. But I do like to see where I'm at on the total on the day. You know, this may actually be a solid trade here for the long side. Assuming we get a move right back through this midpoint, this could create a breakaway gap and, you know, aim for these sort of highs here. Touching right back into that candle. I'm going to be cautious. I would just typically add right back into this, but I'm going to be careful. Just because it seems like it could be very back and forth market, yeah. So big reach right back into the midpoint of this range, which is technically the order block now, the bearish order block. But we'll just keep it as it's a little bit of both, right? It had the bearish order block range midpoint, and then it also had the 1-minute manipulation point. That's a pretty big rejection from there. Right into the balanced price range, see if it wants to turn around. This is kind of the point I'm looking at, is the 5-minute invert. So the bullish order block, that becomes a bearish order block. I want to see how we react here as we've gone through this balanced price range. Seems like it wants to come back into this gap. SMT on this low now. See if it wants to turn around. ES just could totally puke these lows. In that case, NQ goes lower. Yeah, it's pretty harsh rejection right off the midpoint. I guess in hindsight, I should have gotten short here and risked this high as like a quick change in state delivery trade. See how ES reacts around the midpoint here to determine what we're going to do next. So we've inverted now this nice little gap. After creating SMT on the absolute lows, there's just SMT everywhere. Back into the 5-minute invert CE there. Tough call. It feels like it wants to take off. Yeah. Sort of reclaims that area. Yeah, it seems like it wants to go higher. It does. It seems like a market that wants to go higher. And I'd obviously love to be shorting it. It's just not comfortable. Like the spidey senses are telling me up, not down. Yeah. Makes sense from a 1-minute perspective, right? 1-minute rejection off the old 1-minute impulse range, change in state of delivery, comes back into the order block. It's kind of expected to see that type of move. I'm just trying to get a gauge on like where we're at here. 5 minutes also very weak as it comes into this invert. Body's still respecting the 15-minute fair value gap. This thing could just go lower. It makes sense. Like, you know, my overall draw is like way lower. You know, I don't really want to trade this market higher. But playing off this little gap, let's see if it wants to rocket it right back up. Seems like it could be that type of day. Yeah. Let's see what happens. So yes, into midnight, gets rejected there. So yeah, like what makes this difficult is that ES is not telling me too much, right? Because we're in between two spots. We're chopping between midnight and then the new day opening gap. There's SMT on the lows, there's SMT on the highs. You know, like I said, I kind of like this draw for NQ to the upside. These sort of equals here. It does seem like a very suspect sort of down day if it were to be one. So it makes it very difficult to get on side with. And then as far as upside, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I'm trying not to fade the bare bone technicals of things, you know. I'm trying not to fade the fact that you have, you know, the very clear move off the midpoint of the last manipulation range, right? And then you have the change of state of delivery coming back up, testing it yet again. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of let this one play out for a little bit. There's not. I don't. Yeah. Nothing too much for me here. If it wants to run higher and take these highs, then it can. But I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. Down again, huh? Oh, sorry, buddy. Shit. Are you okay? I accidentally just elbowed my cat. I think. Where are you? He's in this like little blanket hut that I made him. You alright? Oh, it's so good. He's adorable. All right, I'm putting him back. We're good. False alarm. We're chilling. Big chilling. How do I get more viewers when it's just the chair? It's low key kind of insulting, guys. Anyway. See, 5-minute bodies have sort of reclaimed this. But then the 15-second structure is very weak on it. Have the 1-minute order block kind of marked out. It's a whole lot of chop, you know? A whole lot of chop. The 5-minute looks very clean from a bearish perspective. You know? Change in state of delivery up into the 50% level. You'd think it just goes right down. I may try to get hip to that. I may just try to give into it. Got short there. Looking for this gap to hold us lower. Of course, I got filled on the absolute low of lows. Adding into it. Looking for us to just crawl lower. Oh, that's nasty. I'm getting out of that. Quick rejection. I'm getting some vibration. Okay. Boeing order is the largest in history. Iran situation won't work out. So we have some Trump headlines coming. Just kind of got me good there. Could have been worse. Could have been way worse. So yeah, it could just be one of those days, guys, where it's kind of really back and forth, like these equal highs. And Q is sick again. Yeah, yeah. You're 100% right, Retta. It is some dirty work. See if it wants to come up and take these now. Right back up into that 1 minute. So it may play games and, reject again off the 1 minute order block open, or it may just pile drive through everything. It seems like the markets are lifting. Still holding the long trade. I hear you. That's a good. I think you're probably on side, Retta. It seems like it. You know what I mean? It seems like it's a market that doesn't really want to go down, or it's an incredibly high resistance to go down. More S&T on the highs. Man, that's frustrating. Get whipsawed out like that. I'm trying again. I like how it's building trendline liquidity. See if it wants to go down. Oh, that's pretty strong. Still just stabbing into the order block. Yes, as well, you do have the S&T on these highs. I'm just seeing if it wants to break down. Because it seems like we could just be in a really whipsaw sort of action. And in that case, I'm just trying to short the highs of the range and, get long the lows or take profits on the lows of the range. Well, that's being very stubborn in here. I'm not adding into this one as aggressively. Not a whole lot of weakness out of NQ or ES or Dow, so doesn't feel right. I'll give that candle a shot. That's it though. Yeah. Yeah. Spooky. That's a nice move. Ah, it's sucking me in. Fine. If it goes up, it goes up. But I like how it came right up and rejected that 1 minute open again. Aye. One of them days. I kind of wanted to respect the micro structure there as the tap into there, still S&T. It could have been the last hurrah. I was a little bit too soft with the stop here, so I was willing to kind of try to get back in there and give that one a shot, but was not working for me. I'm getting ready to just kind of commit to a long. Still, I mean, we have S&T on this high. I would want it to see it take this high first before I really start getting aggressive on longs. I could maybe place a buy stop order above that high. piece of me really wants to smash the buy button here as it's created these really smooth equals just on these 15-second time frame between here and here. I am worried about these though, so it may want to come down, be very high resistance, then go back up. Like, it's not really worth me effing around and finding out. So there goes the sweep. So sweeps one end. Let's see if it sweeps the other now. Still maintaining the SMT on the lows, or on the highs, excuse me. Yeah. See if we can get down into here. See if it holds this 1 minute SMT high after it just swept all these equals. It is accumulating right around the open of the 1 minute order block, which I'm pretty afraid of, but I don't know why it wouldn't have just jumped up to take that high sooner if it's not at least going to go for these lows. Added more after the quick hunt down. Man, that's ugly. I feel like it's right in my face. This is such a tough decision. I'm trying to trust a downside draw, but I'm afraid it's just going to stab up and take me out. That's a little bit more of a loss than I'm kind of willing to swallow at the moment. So I'm thinking about just kind of dipping out of the trade now. Look how it's accumulating at the top end of the 1 minute. It really should have moved down there. Ooh, what a difficult trade to hold. Ah, man. This is about as uncomfortable as it gets. Man, just lack of follow through majorly. Wait a minute. Okay. That was scary. Oh, it's like such a clear long to me right now. Come on. OBS disconnected. I don't know if OBS is back. I don't know if we're still live. I was getting some notifications that my OBS disconnected. Bauer, what's up, Bauer? You know what? We're getting short again. I feel like it's got to take these lows. And if I look over here, it hasn't taken them this high yet. Hasn't even really come close, so I don't really know what the deal is. Really accumulating here. I took one short. Take any trades? Yeah, I have. I don't know if you guys are talking to me or not, though. Midpoint, still accumulating all around these areas, which is very concerning. Dow just relentlessly higher here. Damn, guys. Getting absolutely rinsed. That sucks. I guess the real S&T high was up here too, by the way. I had this mismarked. Damn. Yeah, I like it still on the SMT between the highs and also just these lows I think can probably get touched. I'm just kind of getting aggressive on the entries, just trying to take advantage of it. Although it's coming right back down to these bullish levels and really printing off of it. Low risk add. Again, looking for these lows and possibly even lower. Moving the stop to even. Taking off a bunch just to secure profit. Now we'll just let this trade run for a little bit. I mean, I'm worrying again that this is just a lost cause and holding this trade to the downside. I mean, we do have SMT now. A little bit of SMT flip-flop, which is nice, right? A little SMT inception. So you had NQ as the stronger pair, and now NQ is the weaker pair. That could be grounds for, a catalyst for a reversal. Man, took forever to get on sides of the move. It really did. And then we had to like fight just to get break even, which is annoying. And you know what? It kind of serves me right to an effect. That realistically, my day could have been done here. I could have been up $300 on the day. Still using that. It may have reclaimed the 5-minute order block, which is right here. It may have reclaimed this order block. So if you look at the midpoint, it's kind of really using it as support. Now ES is kind of shooting up off of it. That's not great. I'll give that high a chance. But other than that, I mean, we'll lock in something. There's no point in me taking a complete break-even trade here. You know, what's this $17? Might as well leave it to even. Give this little fair value gap a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? At least I won't take a loss. It seems as though it is pretty clear that it's almost trying to reclaim these bullish arrays and even use the 15-minute as some sort of propulsion to the upside. I mean, again, these highs are kind of suspect. The only reason I'm kind of hopeful that it works is that, you know, we're still kind of coming into this 1 minute, almost like reclaiming the 1 minute order block open here. I really just want to lock in the $200 day or something. So a piece of me also is like spam the sell button, scalp it, and get the heck out. Why are you trading on the 15 and 30 second? That's just where I'm at. That's where I feel comfortable. I do a lot of my trading on the 15 and 30 second. I scan a lot of how the 15 and 30 second structure looks. I look for equal highs, equal lows, and stuff like that. It just kind of helps me. Helps me to, you know, typically get some of the lower risk setups. I don't have to, my stops aren't as wide. If I see something really, you know, confident, I can kind of pack on size for a cheap price. Nice price is fractal. Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, if I'll use it for a reason of like, you know, it's hard, it's a lot to explain, but like, you know, if like see these equal highs, I don't really love that. Like if I wasn't in the short right now, I probably wouldn't be getting short because in my mind, I'm looking for maybe some sort of 1 minute stab up to the high or whatever, like to take that out. So it's kind of helps me pick and choose my trades a little bit more selectively. Sometimes it bites me, sometimes it doesn't, you know, it is what it is. It's kind of the regular qualms of trading as it is. Coming right back down into that 5 minute order block invert. I really want it to puke the low. It's just there's so much strength in here. And you'd like it to really run through this level, considering it was a breakaway gap, and Dow had already melted into it. We're close to 200, or at least we were for a second there. You know what else man, I also hate that these are equals here, but on NQ, regular NQ contract, you'll look, they're not. So typically we do correct that sort of action. MNQ may come up and take that high, so that's like another trick of the trade that may come back to haunt me right now. Oh my God. Really disgusting. Yeah, I may take it off and just take my $50 and be happy. Or at least yeah, that's it. We're done. Sickening, guys. Sickening. Tough day to trade. So there's that correction that I was kind of talking about, although Topstep is stupid and never shows wicks. There it goes. Seek and destroy conditions. Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely seeking and destroying me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's so annoying. I thought it was just gonna completely run up and stop me out if it was gonna make that type of deep run in there. Original stop would have been safe, but I just felt gross about, you know, having the potential 200 here and then giving everything away. Felt a little bit yucky. Little yuck. Short there, risking that high. I like how it's kind of moving up off of the 5 minute invert, and if you look at the 1 minute, it was kind of, you know, change in state. Perfect kind of respect off of the 15 minute fair value gap midpoint. So that's the time aligned pair, It just needs to really speed up here because I'm uncomfortable in where I'm at. I was hoping for a quick move, you know, and it's not really giving me that. It's actually accumulating on the low. Uncomfortable, to say the least. No. Chopped out. Whoa. Topstep data. Gotta love it. It's ridiculous, man. Was that high safe? Did I get stopped out or not? I guess I did, but I thought I was above the high. I must have just been a tick below it. That's okay. I wasn't really counting on it going that high up there anyway. $87 win is better than the loss that you're especially in during these. Yeah, you're 100% right, man. You are 100% right. I think I'll give myself $100 worth of room on this account. And you know, if that's like, I think I moved my loss limit here to $100 on the day. And then it kind of is what it is for the rest. Filled at the absolute low. Gotta love it. Man, I think I'm in trouble. That sure as heck feels like it. I gotta get out. Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? It just does not feel good. The 1 minute looks a lot healthier, but you can tell in the structure, the smaller time frames, it's just the smaller time frames are not feeling good. It's usually not a good thing. Like I don't care how good the higher time frame structure looks. Another change in state of delivery on the 3 minute. I mean, do you just get into it there? I feel like it wants to go lower, but really difficult. More divergence on the lows. You have Dow going lower. I think this thing's just going to fall apart. Really messy. It sucks. I mean, technically I had the right idea the whole time. Just kind of got shaken out of position up here. Ah, I'm about to liquidate now, bro. What's that mean? Like you're chalked liquidation or like you're just done for the day or you're about to exit a trade? Like daily loss limit liquidate? Because if that's the case, I totally understand. It's nasty work here. Yeah, this is dangerous. Waiting to break this range or come back to PM session macro. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, backtest. Want to take a long here, but the 15-second time frame's keeping me out of it. I don't like how we've created all these sort of equal lows. The 30-second, it did kind of stab in. It's a nice look here, but I also then saw this. I don't really have a lot of drawdown room. I said I'm only really giving myself $100 today. So the move made sense. You know, you have SMT on the lows, and I liked kind of where it was at during that like 5-minute order block invert reclaim. That sounds like a lot, just a reclaimed order block. Not to get all crazy here. It's raining insane by me. It just got so dark. I'm sure everybody can see. Hard market to pull the trigger in. Damn, that was the one, man. That was the one. I should have just trusted it. But, you know, so that's, I don't know if you're still in here, Bauer or Bauer. That's the type of thing where it either hurts or helps. So it hurt in this case because I stayed out of it. You know, because I was afraid that if I entered here, I may take unnecessary heat into this volume imbalance. I guess in hindsight, like, you know, it really should have. No, dude, chill, bro. But yeah, that's the case where it hurts. You know, had it gone down here and I can get a better ad, then it helps, but it hurts because I did not take the entry in here. Macro open, started moving clean, 1050. Yeah. I'm going to short that move. My thought process here is the SMT inception. Yes, sir. So it took this high, and yes, takes that. Well, I'll explain it after I'm done managing this trade. I just want to see if I can get a couple bucks out of here. Needed to follow through immediately. Probably gonna get stopped out at even here. Anyway, I'll explain what I was looking at. So SMT inception is when you have the reverse, right? So ES stronger, right? NQ weaker. Now NQ can take this high, but not this one. ES cannot take this high. Now, if that happens, typically what you get is a complete flush, like a quick expansion move to the downside. Obviously, we got that, but it did not have follow through, so I had to get out. But you could see how that worked almost immediately. And your risk is very low, right? Like if you're in here, well, then you're risking this high because the dynamic doesn't work correctly if it goes above this high. So now that the idea is chalked. But how cool was that? That's something to check out. Damn, man. That's really hurting me today. Looking for these equal highs up here. Looking for those highs and higher, to be honest with you. Let's see if ES kind of puts on a show. We're finally back above the midpoint of this old range. So let's see if we could really rip up. You do have SMT on the highs, but I'm not really fretting it that much because it's kind of a Dow is still very weak. No follow through. I just want to dip into this wick that was like quickly, wham wham. Dow just so weak, man. That's really what's worrying me, is that Dow is just continuing to melt lower. Could be bringing down the rest of the crew. I'm out of it. I like the equal lows here. The fact that it could revisit the midpoint of that wick, I just, I don't like it. I don't like it. What a day. Might wait for the next hour to just open. Might wait for 11 o'clock. Just see what happens. I mean, there's still SMT on the highs on the high time frames. And Dow is just overarchingly weak. So there goes a nice little sweep of those lows. ES is still continually weak. Dow is still very weak. This month, seasonally, in Q, we're going to see a lot of high resistance. Yeah, I mean, it's been like a very difficult last couple of weeks, to be honest, Retta. Like, it's been disgusting. I've also just noticed how dark it is. I'm going to turn on a light. Sorry, it's like pouring outside. Yeah, just nasty action right now. I mean, Dow rejecting its midnight open there. See if it wants to go lower. NQ teasing at downside. I mean, I think after it's negated the SMT on the upside, I usually don't like to see that. After a previous SMT was already put in place, I don't like to see the weaker pair kind of break that and then the stronger pair not. It's not really a signature I like to see as far as downside goes. Um, it just kind of shows weakness in that signal, in that original signal. It doesn't mean that it can't puke all the way down. It just means I'm not going to really trust this as a valid SMT, between these two highs. Dow's so ugly. Honestly, I thought Dow was going to have a much better move. I mean, it could. Honestly, these indexes may just completely give it up. Dow goes all the way down here. It seems like the Dow wants to reach for this low on the hourly. I wouldn't be surprised if everything just falls apart at once, and it's very difficult to get on side with. Yeah, I know, Retta. It's a very difficult day. I've been, no follow through on any of my real trades either. Like I feel like I've made the wrong decision a couple times like that, where I got out of a trade pretty much at even or small profit, and just to watch it kind of work out for me again. That was this one down here. Probably would have ended up getting stopped out at even anyway because we were looking for 200, which is right around this point. If I was smart, I probably would have gotten out. So this long trade, that was a good move to get out of that one. So new hour just opened. Let's look at the hourly chart and see where we're at. It's just absolutely disgusting. Let's go to something a little bit cleaner. Yeah, I mean, like, what are we looking at here? Hourly is like, it's clean manipulation at the upside of the range, for NQ. It's just the intra time frames, like, 15 minute, 5 minute, are just not acting accordingly. Like the framework on the higher time frame, very, very very clean, 1 hour SMT all the way up into the 4 hour fair value gap all the way to the left of us. You can go look at it if you want, but that's what this gray box is, like right into the new week opening gap high as well. So the higher time frame makes plenty of sense. It's just the lower time frames within the range are incredibly, incredibly messy, and the dynamics are off. I mean, this could be it. Dow could catch fire to the downside. Pretty crazy. Pretty nuts. Wow. It's a hoot. That's tough. Took a sell? All right. I hope it works for you. I think it could. It could completely just fall apart here. I'm too afraid to chase it. The Dow does look like it wants to just waterfall all the way down to 42,088. Oh, man. See how that gap plays, if at all. Just wants to puke through it. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I just don't like that. I don't like that dynamic where ES is strong there, ends up holding that high, and Q takes both. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Wow. Oh, yeah. Definitely painful to watch, considering this is what I've been looking for kind of all day. That's tough. Wow. There it goes. I don't think it's done yet. I think Dow does need to take that low. So if we can get any meaningful retracement, I will try to get short. I'm just betting on S&T here between the 15 and the 30 second here. Or excuse me, the 15 second between ES and NQ. Adding into that move. Got a little greedy there. I'm way above my loss limit. Hey, that's on me. Let me just chill for a second. Let it simmer down. No. Wow. All right. That sucks. Must disrespect 1 minute. Took the sell. Yeah. Wow. I don't think it's done yet. I'm going to hang in there for a minute. I know I said I was giving myself $100, but this is now creating an obvious draw to me, and I would like a chance to at least trade to it. Wow. I should have put the PDLL or yeah. pretty crazy. Thunder. Getting short just at the 50% level of that 30-second swing range. Like looking for Dow to take this low, accelerate into that low. Adding. Wow. Am I going to take a full $500 loss here? Holy crap. It's disgusting. Give myself a second. Wow. Guys, what a terrible day it turned into. Damn, man. Don't stop me out. Just puke now. Puke now, please. I don't even have a shot at getting back here. Oh, man. I think I have to put in the sell there. Try to get myself back. Just added. Let's see, come back and stop me out. I can't even look. Yeah. Wow, dude. That's disgusting. I think I was just off by a second. I think it definitely falls back down. Dow created these equal lows. I'm going to try another one there. Watch it work. That's annoying. Man, dude, full loss on that damn account. Ah, that sucks. It really does. Adding into that move, I like the hammer candle here, this little pin bar into the old 15-minute. And I wish I would have just waited a second. A little more patience, you know? Oh, it sucks. This was the trade. I was just too aggressive too quick. I was tilted that I was, already down. That's frustrating, you know? Damn, man. I know. I'm better than that. I'm so much better than that. Does this get ugly on me? Could. This should be a protected high on NQ. Wow, straight up. I think my SL upgrade came in. Yeah, Retta, this is crazy action, man. This is just crazy, crazy action. Crazy bad, you know. Oh, I didn't know I had a loss limit of 200 in here. Do nothing. Leave me alone. Wow, dude. So that's on me. What I really should have done is I should have put the previous day loss limit, or you know, personal daily loss limit in for 100 on the other trade, and just I got so chasey, got so FOMO, paid for it. That's such bad. That's terrible discipline. What are we sitting at now? 447. Right back into the crap. Midpoint of that wick. After sweeping these highs, I'll nibble. Also, you have SMT with ES there. I feel like Dow's got to come down. Like Dow has to take these lows. You know what I'm saying? Be hard pressed to see Dow not take those lows. Need Dow to start melting big time here to pull the rest of the indexes down as well. I understand that there's S&T on the lows, but I just feel like Dow has a draw lower that makes a lot of sense, and that's why I'm kind of targeting shorts still. Can these things go away? Topstep is tilting me. Topstep's really tilting me lately. I'm afraid is that we're just stair-stepping up forever on NQ here. It's just relentless bullish action. My tongue is tied. That's how surprised I am at the absolute wreckage of the day. Wow, that might be one of those days where it's just straight up again. Got rinsed. Dow not slowing down. This all needs to be deleted. I mean, maybe. That's crazy though. Did nothing for 3 hours. Yeah, it beat the crap out of me for 3 hours though. It didn't do anything, but it did everything at the same time. For 3 hours, it did nothing and everything. Man, that's lame. Waiting for Dow to puke. Oh my god, look at it just rip right back up there. Put that wick in. Holy crack. Comes up, taps the open, needs to puke down here. Needs to go. Come on, needs to go. Needs to go, needs to go. I cannot believe I'm like possibly offsides here. Wow. This is just crazy to me. Oh my God. The Dow, man. I literally, I cannot believe this right now. This is the 5-minute balance price range that I have marked out. Wow, wow. 1120. Right back into the range. I mean, did it just build more equal lows? Like, that's the fear here, right? Is that Dow is just going to completely turn around and I'm in bad trouble and it saves these lows for another day. Wow, this action really makes me feel like I am offsides. I don't know what to do. I can't believe that. Oh my God. I'm speechless. I am speechless. Just banking itself. Yeah, wow. Back off the 1-minute midpoint. I mean, now it's going to puke. I had a feeling that that was a possibility. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. Man, that's a tough one. Wow. I want to be short again. Buying it as it's kind of flagging into this midpoint, I think it could just pop up. Smaller size, just one mini's worth. So we can start to recover some cash. May have a breakaway gap here. If not, I'm actually slightly, I'm targeting these highs right up here. Not afraid to add into that. Looking for the breakaway on the 1 minute. Shit. Greedy son of a gun. That's what I get. Damn, man. Sweep up those highs on one index but not the other. Again, the freaking candle lag. I didn't see that wick even exist above here. Same sort of deal as like earlier. I mean, I'm not trying to blame anybody here, but I held on to it because of that reason. I held on because I didn't think we went above these highs yet. I didn't like how NQ stabbed up into this gap and it wasn't showing on MNQ, but that's painful. Max pain. Max pain, max pain. Yeah, I hear you, Rita. Or Retta, sorry. I'm interested in taking a stab at Dow to the short side. I just want to see where I want to see what the risk is here on Dow if I risk all the way up here on this high. 270 for what? 700. It's not terrible. I might let that one float, man. I gotta let go. I gotta let go. It's just not working for me. Crazy day. Crazy, crazy day. I guess Dow saves that for tomorrow. Like I'm kind of confused on where it's what exactly it wants to do here. I'd imagine that this should be relatively safe. I'll let this trade run out and it'll do whatever it's going to do. But NQ is stopped for the most part. Oh wow, I'm not going to have the room. Oh, that sucks. All right, I need to hold on. I need to plan something real quick. I need to think here. Let's go. I'm not going to have the room to make this trade work here. Middle of a bad spot because the account's going to be gone. That sucks. I didn't realize I didn't have like a full 2,000 worth of drawdown. Damn, that's tragic. I guess Dow is going to end up stopping me. What am I at? 346. I have about $2, 200. I may or may not have the room to let the Dow trade run out. If the account just goes, it goes. It's hard to believe that I had a lot of trades. Yeah, Retta, I hear you, man. It was a crazy day. Unfortunate type of day. I feel like tomorrow's going to be a much better day with the draw for Dow on the downside, but I may not. At least this account may not survive to see it unless I could do some like micro scalping with NQ to try to, fix a couple of points. Might try to get a couple. Some quick profits or something to pad the account, let the Dow trade work. Unless I just completely ruin the Dow trade. 348. Right back into that 1 minute is not pretty. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, I didn't know that was going to stop out my YM as well, but we have about $100. I mean, at this point, it's just miracle trade. Man, that's so upsetting. For me, I anticipate that will be the high of the week. Q price runs up in accumulation mode. Yeah, you could be right, Retta. I kind of like that. We'll see how much it really wants to run back up. Oh, guys, it was a blaze of glory. That was what it was. It's using this volume imbalance, probably could push aggressively over the high. Just trying to like catch some sort of, decent move here. Save myself a little bit. We're going to end up getting this account's fried now. All right, that's going to end the stream, guys. What a rough day. What a difficult day. It was hard. It's a shame because I feel like we had the right idea a few times early in the day on the XFA at least, and that was just we were just kind of done dirty on follow through, and part of that's my own fault. The initial trade short was just no good. I think I just rough one. We'll continue tomorrow. You can see a 5-minute time frame. Yeah, we'll continue for tomorrow. I'm looking for Dow to be short, or looking to be short Dow. This is That's upsetting. And it was all, I mean, look, this was totally avoidable. This was my bad up in here. I didn't stay disciplined to stick to the loss up here. What are you going to do? Slip up. It's been a rough couple of weeks. It's been a really hard few weeks. Like, you have plenty of good days, but like the bad days have been like really, really tough. So yeah, I mean, we'll be back tomorrow. Again, I'm kind of looking for Dow to take this 42090, level. And yeah, so that'll be that, guys. We live to fight another day-ish. The XFA is still alive, but the combine is fried, which is fine actually. I feel like I've needed the I've wanted to get away from the combine anyway because I feel like it's the XFA is where I should be anyway. Just if I see trades, basically the combine was giving me an excuse to take lackluster trades, if that makes sense, as opposed to just trading the XFA. So we'll be back at it with the XFA tomorrow. We'll see what happens with Dow here and then Q. Yeah, I mean, even the XFA trades, we had a couple good, short scalps, but there really wasn't a whole lot of follow through. I mean, with 2 contracts, $400 is not really going to cut it for me to want to take off any part of that trade. I'm going to feel like a dunce if I ruined this Dow setup, but hard to believe that it wasn't going to go higher. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm going to sign off for today. Good luck with the rest of the day if you're going to continue to trade. If not, I will see you guys. Or no, tomorrow's Thursday, so I won't see you tomorrow. But I will be trading tomorrow. So I'll probably see you Friday. All right, everyone. I'll see you later. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for